Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, many things to mention, from strikers to winger, from Chelsea to Arsenal, Tottenham and much more. Let's jump into it together. And so guys, many movements on the market, a busy day as usual. Now many things are happening, and today I wanted to start with Mohammed Kudus, a story from the start of the week, but it's important also today to tell you something more on this, because I'm told that even in the recent hours, contacts between Tottenham Hotspur and the camp of Mohammed Kudus are ongoing and are well underway. Tottenham are really working on a deal for Mohammed Kudus, even more compared to all the discussions in the media in the recent weeks and months about Eberechi Eze. Tottenham are seriously working for Mohammed Kudus. So conversations are ongoing, talks are ongoing, the player is open to making a move to Tottenham, and that's a good news for Spurs. So conversations underway for Mohammed Kudus to Tottenham. As I told you, also Chelsea remain interested in the player, and there is one more club also keeping close eye to the situation. So the race at the moment is still open, nothing is done, nothing is committed, but Tottenham are pushing. Tottenham want to give the player to Thomas Frank. Tottenham believe that Mohammed Kudus would be an excellent addition for the summer transfer window, and so Spurs are working on this deal with the players' agents and with West Ham. Let's see what's going to happen there, but for sure the Mohammed Kudus story for Tottenham remains a very concrete one, and let's see also what Chelsea will decide in this sense, if they want to stay in the race or not, after signing Bynoe-Gittens and also João Pedro, who signed his contract today as a Chelsea player in the US, medical done, contract signed, and so João Pedro, Bynoe-Gittens, new signings done for Chelsea. About Chelsea, guys, we have to mention another player, because I've been telling you in the recent days, okay, Chelsea signed Bynoe-Gittens, Chelsea signed João Pedro, but Chelsea are not done yet on the market. First of all, because they are looking in the centre-backs market, but also an offensive addition, one more could be a possibility. Today I got many questions from you guys on Noni Madueke and Arsenal, but if you're following me and the channel, I told you last week that Arsenal are considering a move for Madueke. From that point, I'm told that nothing has changed today. So many stories today, but the reality is that Arsenal have not sent any proposal to Chelsea as of today. Arsenal have not sent any contract proposal to the player. They just had talks to understand the situation of the player last week. So Madueke is one of the names in the list. But at the moment, still nothing has changed in terms of negotiations yet for Noni Madueke. But especially if Madueke decides to leave Chelsea in the summer transfer window, or if Chelsea decides to sell the player, Chelsea could still add one more player for the attacking package for the upcoming season. Malik Fofana from Olympique Lyon, the Belgian talent, a very talented winger, is one of the options at Chelsea. But it's not only Chelsea here, because let me explain to you the situation. Nottingham Forest have reached an agreement with Olympique Lyon. So, the Marinakis family, the management of Nottingham Forest, and John Textor, the president of Olympique Lyon, have reached an agreement for Malik Fofana to go to Nottingham Forest. But at the moment, there is no agreement with the player. Malik Fofana is assessing all the options and is waiting for Champions League clubs. There were calls from Bayern, Napoli, and of course from Chelsea. I already told you about Chelsea a few weeks ago. So Malik Fofana is waiting to understand if one of these clubs will decide to go strong and get him. But for sure, Nottingham Forest are waiting. At the moment, they don't have a green light from the player, and we will be following that situation closely. We will be following also the situation of another player, and this is Eberechi Eze. For Eberechi Eze, I told you over the weekend there was a contact between Arsenal and the agents of the player. The story has been confirmed basically everywhere, but that story is important because Arsenal are working on the Eberechi Eze deal. The talks are concrete. What I can tell you today is that also the player is opening doors to Arsenal. The player is keen on the move to Arsenal, is excited by Arsenal project, he would be keen on joining Arsenal. So Eberechi Eze is something concrete for the Gunners. Contact with the agents is a separate topic and story from Noni Madueke. For Madueke, they didn't send any proposal. They had some conversations to understand the situation 1 week ago. For Eberechi Eze, they started talking about the conditions of the deal with with Crystal Palace and with the player side. Tottenham at the moment are not advancing for Eberechi Eze because they are focused on Mohammed Kudus, and so keep an eye on Arsenal and Eze because the player is keen on the move and the conversation is ongoing. So, Eberechi Eze, a name we have to keep in the list, as per the story from a few days ago, for Arsenal. On Arsenal today, guys, many questions from the fans on Christian Mosquera situation, because Valencia have offered a new deal to Christian Mosquera with an important salary. My understanding, guys, is that Christian Mosquera desire is very clear. Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. Christian Mosquera wants to play for Arsenal. Now it's on Valencia and Arsenal to reach an agreement on the transfer fee. The first bid, 15 million euros, got rejected. Arsenal will be back to the table with a new proposal. So for sure the conversation will continue, club to club, for Mosquera, and the desire of the player is to go to Arsenal. Now, Valencia can try their efforts, of course, is maximum respect for the club, but my feeling is that Christian Mosquera is leaning towards a move to Arsenal. So that's my understanding, that's my feeling, and we will see what's going to happen there. But for sure, the attraction of Arsenal project for this player too is something very strong, and so it's going to be complicated, I think, for Valencia to convince Mosquera to stay at the club. Then, guys, I wanted to clarify something else, and it's about Victor Gyökeres. For Victor Gyökeres, we are having many rumors on a deal getting closer between Arsenal and Sporting as of tonight. I'm told that tonight there are still no changes. Nothing has changed between Arsenal and Sporting for Gyökeres. There is no advanced conversation or advanced negotiation to get a deal done between clubs. We know that Gyökeres and Arsenal are in discussions, have been in discussions for weeks, because Gyökeres is one of the main targets for Arsenal this summer, but at the moment still nothing has advanced between clubs. We know there is still this war ongoing between the agents of Gyökeres and Sporting to understand the final price of the player, and that's the point, guys. The price has to be clarified before Arsenal go to the table and try to close the deal with Sporting. So let's be patient. As of today, still nothing has changed, but Gyökeres remains a target for Arsenal, a topic for Arsenal. Then we will see how this conversation will go with Sporting. On Victor Gyökeres and Manchester United, also, guys, remember that the priority of Victor Gyökeres would be to go to Arsenal because of Champions League football, but he never rejected Manchester United. But what's the point for United? The price is really important for them, because now, as of today, their focus is on closing the Bryan Mbeumo deal as soon as possible. Man United are in the process for that, and then in terms of budget, it's going to be important to understand how much they can spend on the striker, because it's also going to be important to understand what happens with Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho. All these players have to go, and so for Man United to understand how much they will get from these players, Anthony too is going to be crucial to understand the budget for the striker. Then to close for today, guys, on Luis Diaz, many questions about Bayern. I can confirm a build information from today that Bayern made an approach with the camp of Luis Diaz to understand the situation. It was a general approach. I'm told still no formal proposal, but an approach to understand how is the situation with Liverpool. Bayern are aware also of Al-Nassr interest in Luis Diaz. So Al-Nassr are another potential solution with an important proposal that could follow this summer for the Colombian winger. Liverpool and Luis Diaz remain in conversation of the contract. So Bayern wanted to understand the situation. Bayern are asking about many wingers in the market, not only Luis Diaz, but for Luis Diaz they made an approach. And so let's see what's going to happen there. Let's see what the player decides to do, what Bayern decides to do. But for sure, could be one to watch. And so, guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories, from Victor Gyökeres to Kudus, Eze, Madueke, Mosquera, Fofana, Luis Diaz, and all the rest. I wait for your opinion, guys, here in the comments. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon with Fabrizio.